Um, because if you guys haven't checked the IG, go check it out. Because Eric definitely drops a bomb, and while we're on the topic, Eric gone ahead and left a message for his governor. Talk about direct. Talk about direct. My goodness, Eric.
Hey man, listen, I'm not gonna be yeah, I've been disrespectful to him before. I'm not gonna go at him like that, man. But honestly, dude, I just I don't understand, man. I don't. But if you go over to the Instagram, I was on one for like a good 13 minutes, man. It's a good rant. I ask a lot of questions. I pose a lot of positions. Would like to know what y'all think about it. It's really, really important that we have conversations like these, and I think this is a big part of the identity booth. Our goal is obviously to identify with each other. So I don't have a problem posing something, asking, and I'm asking sincerely. I'm not over here trying to. I'm not trying to attack people. I don't mind making you uncomfortable in your position, and I do say in one of the videos, listen, if what I say offends you about something you think or believe, then you're probably not strong enough in the position. If you really believe it, why are you offended that I have uh, a thought about what you think? Why is what I think about what you think so important to you? So I kind of break that down over there. Like, I mean, it sounds juvenile, but I mean, it's real. Like, why do you care so much about what everybody whatever everybody thinks? See, Keisha, yes, thank you. You know Eric gonna speak his mind. So a lot of times it ain't what a lot of people want to hear, but it needs to be said just because it's it's a dissenting voice or a different voice. But Keisha, I really would like for you to go down in that comment section on the IG after you watch. Tell me what you think. You probably be surprised about what I say. Probably
Well,
be surprised.
let's give them a little sneak peek in what they're gonna get. So go ahead, Eric. Tell us what we're talking about in today's topic.
So what you saying? Nani? Get out my business, okay?
Everybody, welcome to the Identity Booth. You're your host here, Hero and Eric. Man, today we are talking about the heartbeat bill that just got signed. Everybody is up in arms, one way or another. Now, if you're not from Texas, I'm still sure you're aware of who Greg Abbott is. He is the governor who had a tree fall on his back, and that is why he's in a wheelchair. I have sympathy for that.
Wait,
Shout
is that a
out.
real story?
That's really what happened to him.
So did he hear the tree coming? Because he can answer that age-old riddle.
No, the only sound that probably happened was his back cracking.
Snap, crackle, pop. You can talk to the world. Okay, I'm done being me.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah, no, but he's nah. Anyway, it's a really sad story about how it actually happened. But honestly, man, my thoughts about everything that's come out. We've got more stuff that have come out recently about what he said. So essentially, the heartbeat bill says that a woman in the state of Texas cannot obtain an abortion after 6 weeks. And if she's asking someone to help her be an accomplice and they felt uncomfortable, or even the physician, anybody can come back later and sue her in civil court, I'm assuming, and get some kind of damages or reward for whatever, basically for tattling. If I give you the power to sue, then maybe you'll tattle on the person, and after you sue them, we'll prosecute them for breaking the law. This is incentivizing people to tell on each other. This is one of the fundamental problems that I have with the bill. Number two,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't want to be the person that tells anybody else what they should or shouldn't do with their body. I don't think the government has a place to legislate morality for people. What a person does with their person, and then the reason why I'm like that is because people can say what they want. I don't like abortion, especially as contraceptive. I don't like that. Let me state my position. However, I also think that drugs should be decriminalized. Why? Because it's me taking an illicit substance, putting it in my body, and taking on all the risk for the illicit substance. I don't think there's any difference when it comes to that particular point with a woman taking on all the risk physically with having the baby. Now, I still don't think that she killed the baby. That's just my personal preference. But I'm not going to tell her that she can't. The only thing that I ultimately care about is if the $650 billion don't go to Planned Parenthood. You pay out of your pocket if you want to do that. That's my thoughts. A lot of people not going to like it, but that's what I think. So know that you've seen this story. I know that you've seen the extra news that have come out today about the governor cracking down on catching rapists, which I know that's a sore spot for you. I would like to know what your thoughts are about the bill, and then about what the governor said about catching the rapist, because I really want us to hold him to that.
So as I worked with the Texas Rangers and did my thesis statement in forensic examination, I did my thesis statement on criminal mapping based on no evidence. This is usually how sexual assault happens. There's no evidence left behind. The person is assaulted in one place and dumped in another. It makes it almost impossible for you to track that. But we worked on trying to find a method of doing that. It's so much virtue signaling in this non-fluorescent ass motherfucker in a wheelchair, because Texas has rape kits that are out of date, meaning the people that were raped and assaulted and brave enough to go up to their clinic, go up to their police departments, have themselves revisit and be questioned by people who aren't qualified to do it honestly, and then had their problems buried away in the back of some drug pen, linchpin, where their dreams of justice disappeared in front of petty weed crime drugs and petty fines for speeding and all the bullshit accumulated that stop people out there. Like I said, crimes of profit are the crimes that officers solve, period. If your crime doesn't generate a profit for the police department, you don't really have a crime that's going to be solved. You heard it here first. So with this in mind, I'm so baffled that he feels the need to speak about finding rapists, but isn't willing to let you get an abortion if you get raped. Where's the symbolic gesture in that peace of mind, right?
It seems a little ironic there.
So,
and I have an issue with, now, statistically speaking, the amount of abortions that would be had due to rape statistically are low, but I still think it should be an option. And it's funny because me and my wife had a conversation about it and we disagreed. And I said, it's traumatic enough that you went through the experience. Now you have to carry and care for the seed of some predator. Nah, I'm not with that.
And furthermore, knowing that predator is out there. If they didn't catch him, he's out there. So with that in mind, but I'll push down into this story a little bit more. Shout out to the DOJ for stepping up on this, and shame on the SCOTUS, the Supreme Courts. Why? Like there's literally a ruling for them, and Eric made a great correction of me. This is not a law. It's a ruling. It's a suggestion that they use to overthrow or rewrite mishaps or imbalances of power. But they refuse to speak on this topic and are waiting to be presented with it. I feel that's inappropriate. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I actually like this course of action. This is probably one of the most conservative Supreme Courts that we've had, but it's also staying out of the way. Listen, no, SCOTUS is not a disappointment. Let me give you guys a little civics lesson here. So the Supreme Court can make decisions about a case that it hears. It does not legislate. If you want the government to make it a law, you know what process it has to follow. It needs to be put on the ballot. It needs to be put into a bill that Congress signs. These are the only two ways that we can get something like this codified into law. So if you don't like what the Supreme Court does, don't wag your finger at them. Go to your congressperson. That's where you focus your attention.
Absolutely. But I'll speak on the DOJ willing to assist in this, because ultimately, when what people don't understand is this is almost a law that's unenforceable. You can't enforce this law. It's almost impossible, because if you want to talk about the people you can accuse, that means you could accuse the gas station that provided gas to the car that got you there. That means you can accuse the Uber driver who didn't ask a question about your procedure, and even if he did, he would be beyond his scope of practice and wouldn't get the information readily. This means you could probably sue Nike for giving you shoes to wear down there. Like this just creates a situation where entitled rich idiots can stand outside of clinics for women and point their guns at people, because we always know that power abuses from the top down. And could you imagine, we literally went through a pandemic where people were being thrown off of planes. So you mean to tell me in a state where you can carry a weapon now, no license needed? You mean to tell me someone who has the rage-induced theory that a mask is hindering his rights to live isn't willing to go in front of a clinic and draw and bear arms to intimidate for his belief? That we're setting ourselves up for an L. And if you've already forgotten what happened at the Walmart in El Paso, I guarantee you there's 32 families that haven't. This is setting up a dangerous precedent to put a lot of people in danger.
And you want to know what? You bring up a good point. So I'll tell you, let me piggyback on that. I was at my buddy's house. We're getting ready to take him out for his birthday on Sunday. And one of his aunt's friends come over. He's 48-year-old. He said his birthday was a few days prior. Him and his nephews they're like 17, 18 years younger than him, took him out to a night spot. You know, this is a after hour spot, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Trying to keep it PC here. So take him to this spot. They're at the door trying to get in. He says the guy comes up. You know, anything in Texas now is a holster. Dude got a freaking sling and two rifles on his back, like walking around like nothing. A pistol, rifle, just, and it's a brother. And he just at this establishment. And the people at the door had to tell him, hey, bro, like, nah. Well, I know my rights. He's like, nah. Listen, if you walking around like this, there's people in here that's going to see, and they're going to come outside, and this is going to be something. Can you please just go put that away or go away? I'm just saying, like, this is insane. And to your point, I think that is viable. There is somebody crazy enough to actually do something like that. We've seen crazier things happen this week, and even in a grocery store. You know what I'm saying? With not a gun. So yeah, very good point, bro.
The thing that I also want to then bring into this factor, and it's kind of this is why history is so important, because history repeats itself if you don't learn from your mistakes. And literally 2 years ago, there was an article written about this. Abortion before and after legalization. Just because you limit the rights of people doesn't mean that the drop-off rate is going to happen. Ask the bootleggers of the 1920s. Ask the cigarette wielders of the 1970s. Ask the weed heads of the 2000s. Just because the government makes it illegal doesn't mean it's going to stop happening. All it means is that people are going to get hurt when it happens. That's it. There are certain liberties of life that we have to be able to accept. And this is one of them. Regardless of how desperate Republicans want to be part of the Sharia law gang. This article explains that women only put themselves in more danger. And you could hog tie this to some whitewashing idea about people being afraid of white people disappearing from the earth because they're, for the first time in America's history, losing population. But ultimately, like I said, power drips down. This is going to hurt people on the bottom, because the heartbeat bill puts us in a position for 6 weeks detection when some people don't know that. And whether you like it or not, and whether you want to believe it or not, a fetus 6 weeks in, you take it out and leave it on its own, it's not making it. Sorry. That's just the fact. And I want to also counter an argument that a lot of people throw out in this thing. They'll say stuff like, and for all you, and if you're one of these people using this argument, I'm here to tell you, one, go fuck yourself. Two, be original. Be your.
No, hold on. Don't tell them to go F themselves. We actually want to have a conversation about this.
No what, Eric, you're gonna make me. Can I have a moment here?
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize. Don't go fuck yourself. But understand how you're fucking people up with this argument. When someone says they had a third term abortion, understand.
Third trimester, sorry.
Understand they have to come to terms with the most devastating thing that has ever happened to them. This is a person who has already bought clothes for this child, painted a fucking man cave blue or pink, bought shit, planned that weak ass baby shower, and probably planted hundreds of thousands of explosives to announce that they're having a fucking girl so that all of California can burn to the ground. It is so rare that there was only 13 recorded in 2018, and they all were forced due to saving the parent's life. Only one, I believe, was done by the woman's will. Shut the... Okay, Eric said I can't say that. Mind your... No, I can't say that either. Have a little bit...
Pound sand.
Have a little bit of coherent thought about what you say to certain people, because there are people out here who are begging for a child. There are people out here who are thinking about getting in vitro. There are people out here who would do nothing more to protect the child. But you have to remember, Texas has no interest in protecting the child because 13% of kids in Texas go home hungry. 60% of kids in Texas don't have health insurance. 70% of kids are being exposed to COVID-19 in Texas right now.
How many kids are in the foster care system in this state? I would venture to say it's in the it's probably in the
I did a story about how 300,000 kids go missing in America, and you know the three biggest ports in America? Texas, California, New York.
Of course.
So before you jump on your high horse and talk about how you want to protect the kids, watch your mouth, because you're lying. We know you're lying. There's nothing genuine about you. But if you've come to this conclusion and you feel you have to hold on to these trials and tribulations, hey, me and Eric, we will set up today a children's fund. And we will take all donations. And we've done 100% donations before. We've matched it. Come with it.
Yep. 30,000 kids in foster care in the state of Texas. For all of my pro-lifers, go give those kids some life.
Hook them up. Schools are right around the corner. They need books and shoes, motherfucker. But for everything else in meantime, Eric, where can they find us?
Not down in Austin legislating, unfortunately. Man. But you can find us right here on Twitch. And then you can go over to our favorite side piece. That's YouTube, man. Make sure you go down in that description box. Hit that link tree. Show you everywhere we need to be. Hero is famous on TikTok. And IG is coming up, man. Listen, if you want some more in-depth conversation about it, some nuance, make sure you go over to the IG. Check out the post.
We can catch the vibes, but it's so hard to find through the daily grind. Been working overtime, and I'm sleep deprived. Shorty on my line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope the end is sight. Slow it down, and we can catch the vibes.